Cute, cool, fun. Love that for me.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Aren't You Exhausted, the podcast. I am your not so sweaty host, Ashley, and joining me tonight is my loving husband, Liam.
Hello.
We've had some technical difficulties.
You've had some speech difficulties,
Apparently I'm choking. We've had some difficulties tonight in getting the mics and everything to be working audibly, but I think we have it fixed, at least patched for the time being. And yeah, we're gonna get on into it because we've already recorded this once today and found out it was a flop. So, why does technology have to be so horrible?
Well, it's the price we pay.
So Liam hasn't joined me in the last, I think, 2 podcast episodes.
Yep.
We had planned on it and it just kind of fell through with scheduling. Work has been kind of chaotic at the moment. And I'm pretty sure that we at least discussed between one another about the breakup of Amberlynn and Feline.
I think I was on the episode right after the breakup, I want to say, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't actually remember. It's been
a while.
It's been like almost 2 weeks since the last episode, almost. So I don't know. But he's been watching me through my tarot card artwork because at the moment I am doing illustrations for a upcoming tarot card set surrounding Gorlworld. It's kind of given me a little break from the podcast of reporting on Amberlynn and Chantal and the like, just because it's been very somber, kind of dark with their content here as of late. But we're kind of moving past that dark part and trying to discuss other things going on. And I guess we're going to start with Amber because Chantal has been kind of a chaotic mess.
Yeah.
As of lately. So we'll probably interchange between the two of them throughout this episode. But we're going to dive into Amber's revisiting of taking the, not CBD, the Delta 8 gummies, the edibles. She is in the gas station edible market right now. You know, where you get all your hard drugs from the gas station. She's kind of like self-medicating herself to keep herself from feeling the depression from Feline Jade leaving. And also for the fact that like she started Weight Watchers, assumedly because she sees that her eating out is getting out of hand and she's probably feeling the effects of eating out 4 meals a day. And the weight gain and the swelling aspect and probably the mobility aspect as well. She started back up on Weight Watchers and then I think it was the same day, I guess she was in another creator's live chat saying how dumb Weight Watchers was. So it was already not promising that she would stick with it. And not even a day in, she dumped Weight Watchers. And like, I get it. Amberlynn has done Weight Watchers so many times before and each time failed the exact same way. She tries cheating the system, so to speak, because she's allotted like 82 points or something like that along those lines.
Right.
Because of her weight. And apparently that's a lot of points. I don't know. I've never done Weight Watchers before, never looked into it. Every time I did weight loss, it was always MyFitnessPal. So that's about as deep as I've ever went into it. And it just seems to me like she threw money at it knowing that it was going to be a flop and just wanted to spend money, I guess. She wanted that high of starting a plan, but it kind of never follows through, especially because Amberlynn and Chantal's idea of diets are, I still get to eat what I want, but I'm going to miraculously lose weight. And they don't get that, sometimes you have to say no to yourself. It's a self-discipline thing. Like, you cannot cater to your cravings and your addictions. This is an addiction for them. You guys can't cater to those and still expect to have some kind of progress in that goal of weight loss. Amber even went so bold as to say, like, how it's fat phobic, that she's given grief about doing mukbangs or eating on camera, and other fat people are as well, when thinner mukbangers eat much more unhealthily and are praised for it and are allowed to profit from it. And where, I would hate to say that the difference is that Chantal and Amber both started out on their YouTube journeys on YouTube as being either a health conscious channel with a weight loss. That's what Amber started from. That's where everybody knows her from, for the most part, her failed attempts at weight loss. But this was a weight loss channel. Yeah. Yes, she tried to rebrand as a vlogging channel just because I think she just got sick of having to discuss her weight when that's all she brings it back to. Everything comes full circle for her and revolves around food, how she gets the food, and then the guilt that she feels for indulging in that food, and sits here and claims for over a year now that it hasn't been binge eating. But in the latest vlogs, she's had titled about binge eating or discussed it in the vlogs. So I'm not really sure where she's going in that direction of her channel, where she's trying to remove the weight loss aspect from it. But that's where you started from. That's where you need to continue going. You're over 500 pounds.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's just, like, none of her content is even, like, a remotely attempting to lose weight. It's just talking about her weight. It's not really, like, she's like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that, but she doesn't stick with it for long enough to actually, like, be considered even a weight loss channel at this point. She's just doing,
she's literally just throwing things out into the universe and hoping that
she just doesn't want to hear people call her fat. So she's always on a diet. You can't call somebody fat if they're on a diet,
if they're trying,
right? But she's not. She just has an excuse.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of what Amber and Chantal have a hard time grasping is they have to watch what they eat. Yeah. Like, there's just not any, there's no simple fix for it. Yes, your day, you have to have food. You have to have food to sustain your body, but you don't have to make it your entire personality. Food should not be the only thing that you fucking think about and the only thing you can talk about. It's the addiction that is fueling her content so far, and it's what's got her by so far. But at what cost? Because yes, while she's making money off of it, how much longer can she do that? It's just going to end up one of these days we're not going to hear anything from her, and it's going to be she had a major complication due to her weight and didn't bounce back from it, because guess what? You're getting older. You're not going to be able to bounce back for much longer.
I'm surprised she's made it this long. I mean, she's got, the on and off dieting and all the other things that she's, semi doing. It's just, it's none of it's good,
Yeah.
But she's going to do what she's going to do, and it's going to be everyone's fault but herself.
And then the fact that Chantal even got onto this wagon, I don't think Chantal's ever done a subscription-based weight loss thing before. I mean, aside from the meal plan that she had done in Kuwait, that she swore them down wasn't enough food for her. But
I mean, yeah, exactly.
What Chantal and them don't realize, and like they constantly bring up their scapegoat of, well, I have binge eating disorder. If I restrict, it's going to cause me to binge more. Sometimes you have to be an adult. And yes, it sucks to like feel those hunger pains or what you think are hunger pains and not be able and like have to tell yourself no. But you can't constantly go out there when you're craving something and just eat what you crave consistently. That's why there isn't a bunch of fatter people out there. They don't cater to food as like this end all be all. Food is just sustenance for them.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't view food as needing to be this fucking treat for yourself 24/7. It should just be get you through and fuel your body to whatever you're doing throughout your day. And these two are not doing anything throughout their day. They are just existing. So they shouldn't need much.
Yeah, they're not like burning off a lot of calories or anything doing what they're doing.
No. And so even at the activity level that they are at right now, which is nothing, even if they cut their calories from what they're used to consuming by, I don't know, 500, 1,000, I think that would be doable.
Right.
They would lose weight from just that, from the baseline of what they used to eat to just taking 1,000 calories off a day. It wouldn't be drastic weight loss. Maybe for Amberlynn at the beginning of it, just
right. She'll
due to being the size that she is, the bigger girls tend to drop more weight faster.
It won't be
in the beginning
visual, but number wise, she'll be able to say, I lost X, Y, and Z.
And she'll feel it. It's just we won't see it. And I think a lot of the issue Amber and Chantal both have is like they need fully seasoned, saturated foods, very, I don't want to say palatable, but like very, they always eat like decadent foods, like very rich foods. And I mean, upon other than Amber's here and there soups that she does, even those are like super seasoned. Like she puts a shit ton of garlic salt in them. You really don't need to do that.
Yeah.
And that's probably why she has such an issue with, the swelling and the lymphedema and lipedema. I don't know what the fuck that is. The swelling issue that she has, that contributes to that. The same with Chantal. Like, the way she is shaped reminds me of when I was going through my health scare earlier this year. When I was hospitalized, I had like a stomach infection and it made my liver swell. It made my kidneys swell. Everything was irritated and swollen and angry, and I had a lot of fluid buildup, and it built up in such a way that it looked like I was like 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
It looked like I was having another child. And it was terrifying in the fact that Chantal is carrying her weight similar to how I carried mine when I was sick and I was having a lot of issues. It makes me worried that she's overlooking a lot of things just because she doesn't want to like have to come to the realization that like what I'm doing is fucking myself over. It's really hurting my body. And through that process, I found out that I was like severely anemic. I've since had that corrected with medication and everything is good now. Water retention is gone. My liver and kidneys are back to normal. But it's made me have to be a little bit more conscious of what I'm eating and my diet now, especially because I was recently diagnosed with diabetes. So I'm right there with these girls, but I'm also seeing the wrong that they're doing by showing people this and trying to push this narrative that you can be a 530-pound YouTuber doing mukbangs and eat with me's and showing this lavish lifestyle that can be for other fat people out there, which it can't. Like, it's like 1 to 4% of people make it in YouTube anyhow or in the entertainment field. And this is just promoting bad habits for these people, for the younger people watching. I'm not sure what her demographic really is. I don't think it's super young people, but then Also, it's not really super older people either that that follow along with her because of the content that she puts out. I think it's like a mix of like early 20s, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe early 30s as well. I know there's a few of us out there that are older that watch her for the critique commentary and just to know what not to do. But I don't see any changes being made in Amber. I see a lot of planning for changes, but nothing actually coming to fruition. Now, will things change when she finally moves out of state? Who fucking knows? I think personally, and I've seen this kind of echoed throughout some outliers in the community about her using this time that Jade is still there at the apartment to go into inpatient and be treated and get her eating under control and her weight under control so that she's able to make this move without any issues, so that her body doesn't, degrade further when doing a big move like this. I mean, you're going across state lines. This is going to be hell on her body, whether she's driving it or flying. I don't think she is flying, but driving this, it's going to be hell on her body, whether she stops multiple times or not. It's going to be hell. So I think it would be in her best interest to do inpatient while Jade is still there to help her financially through this time. And, I think it would even rally people behind her if she decided to do inpatient, and people would probably donate towards her going through inpatient to help her financially while she's going through it, because she does, pay her own insurance and pay a lot of these things out of pocket. And I'm sure inpatient is probably an out of pocket financial situation, which sucks, but that's the U.S. healthcare system.
Yeah, I just feel like she's not going to do anything because, I mean, it goes back to the original thing we're talking about, which is she doesn't want to do anything. She doesn't do anything. I mean, everything is too hard for her.
Yeah.
So.
Everything causes a regression. Everything causes a setback. And then she goes through this perpetual blame the audience.
Yeah.
So, will she ever? Probably not. Am I hopeful that something happens and she finally takes the initiative? Yes, I'm still one of the hopefuls, but I'm also a skeptic and a realist, and I know that it's probably not going to happen. Now with Chantal, she's kind of going through her rage moment, and now we're back to the finding religion moment where she's trying to be the better Muslim person, trying to educate people on why she wears her hijab. It's a lot. Like, I seriously get whiplash from this girl watching her, because she will be straight out in her community section ripping people apart for their looks, for like everything, pulling out people's families, talking shit on everybody. And then we'll have her come back after, like a day or so reprieve where everybody thinks that like she had a health scare or she's doing something behind the scenes. And she'll come back with a fucking stupid ass commercial for her husband's fragrance company and a whole spiel about why she wears the hijab and why she is trying to be a better Muslim, like all this stuff. And I'm just like, you were just calling FFG like a frog or something, and
She's a rat.
in your community posts, and you're turning around and saying, I'm trying to be the bigger person here.
I mean, she's usually the bigger person, I think, in most scenarios, unless it's Amber.
I'm just like, the head turning. And the fact that she literally went on Weight Watchers the day after I think Amberlynn said she was done with Weight Watchers is like, it's not boding well.
Yeah.
Especially because they both think that, takeout should be in with their food, their meal planning.
Why isn't McDonald's in Weight Watchers?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start Weight Watchers. I got 52 points. I'm going to use 34 of them bitches on Hardee's.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just have one sandwich instead of 4. But yeah, they're both kind of train wrecks right now, and then like she has her husband. Like I hate to be that person to pull up stereotypes, but she is making it so hard to not see stereotypical Middle Eastern scammer when it comes to her husband, because they're trying to pawn off these scents that she made the whole fucking it was such a cringy commercial type deal, like a little infomercial about her husband's scents and stuff that he sells and merchandise. And apparently you're able to buy their fragrances now, even in the US and like Canada and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have to pay $60 in shipping. And on top of it, man, I just read 10 minutes ago and I was like, what the fuck? There's no guarantee that it gets to you because they do not have an ingredients label on their packaging or on the bottles anywhere.
Yeah.
And so customs can technically hold it because it's an unlabeled bottle of liquid with no ingredients list. So technically customs can hold it and just not destroy it. So you never get what you fucking paid for. So essentially you're going to spend like $70-something.
To smell like Chantal, by the way.
Just,
now,
like that's if you get it.
Right. Not something you want to really strive for.
You're going to spend $70 for something that has no ingredients label that you may or may not even get after waiting probably months. There's no refund policy. There's no anything. And Chantal just keeps reassuring people like, oh, that'll never happen. Like it never happened with your postcards that you offered through people who paid money to be members of your fucking channel.
Yeah.
Like, I want to say that people are very naive for giving her money in the first place. But man, it's a whole nother level of dumb that you have to be to knowingly put your financial information on a website that her husband is dealing in, where there's no information on what is in these fragrances. And Chantal, I guess, responded to somebody in the comments asking just that, like, what's in the what are the ingredients? What if I'm allergic to something that's in the ingredients? And she responded back like, other perfume companies don't put their ingredients list in the on the bottles or in the packaging, and they're like, yeah, they do. They have to if they sell in the US or anywhere else. It's like the law for that exact reason. Like if somebody has an allergy, how would they know what's in the ingredients if there's no label?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But
These girls.
And I think that's I know there was probably more that I had talked about originally, but I, for the life of me, cannot think of it right now after recording this before and re-recording this. And then going through the technical difficulties right before recording this yet again and trying to figure out how to fix it. Oh, yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about. The mukbangs, when Amber and Chantal kind of both go heavy for this. Like they feel like bigger people should be able to do mukbangs because smaller people do it. And I remember this conversation from earlier, that when we first recorded this, so that's why I wanted to talk back on it. I feel like while yes, it's okay for large people to do mukbangs and eat on camera, I don't feel like people who have eating disorders should do so.
Or complain about the fact that they have eating disorders when anybody brings it up. Like
Yeah,
you can't have, you could either eat on camera and be like, embrace it, or like admit that you have an eating disorder and go from there essentially. Like you can't
and like their big fight on this is like we don't come after smaller people, like smaller bodied people that eat exorbitant amounts of food or bad food on their mukbang channels, so why would we come after them? And my thing is that you guys started as health channels.
Right.
Well, Amber did. Chantal started as a beauty channel that went to mukbangs because you know what? Despite what they think, a good majority of the fetish community that's out there enjoy seeing larger women eat exorbitant amounts of food or just unhealthy food in general. They also really love it when larger women show their bigger bodies on the internet.
Right. I mean, that's
like that
fetish.
is the fetish. That's the can I say this without it getting demonetized? Money shot.
I don't think you get demonetized for that.
Money shot. But like that's the whole premise. There's even like subsidiaries of that similar fetish, like with vor. The bigger the person, they feel like I've had to deal with this before personally. So they enjoy larger people because it makes them feel smaller and like they could be eaten by those people whole. Like a snake. Like a sneaky snake. It's not my thing, but we don't kink shame here. Everybody's allowed, as long as it doesn't hurt the other person.
I mean, technically, it does hurt the other person now.
Yeah, but vor the whole thing is
I was saying
it's
more
imaginary.
the feeder stuff hurts the person eating.
The feeder stuff does hurt the other person, and it's a power play for sure because the person that's doing the feeding is wanting that person to, like, the end all be all is them to be immobile and be helpless. So there's that. I pushed up my glasses and seemed all smart when I said that.
It goes great on an audio podcast.
Yeah. That's why I told you about it. I explained what I was doing. But this is something that, you know, do you if that's what you want to do and if that's how you want to make your money, but don't sit there and claim that that's not what you're doing, because it is. Amber's even been so bold to say if I wanted to make money, I would just do mukbangs, and you know what?
And then she goes and does mukbangs.
Then she goes off on these tangents on like, you guys don't want to see me eat on camera just because I'm fat. And it's like, no, because you're killing your fucking self. It's not because you're fat.
And then you get mad at people pointing it out. So it's like, it's annoying.
And Chantal just doesn't give a fuck either way. Like, this girl went and started Weight Watchers, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to have me some Hardee's. I'm going to have me some Hardee's for my first meal. I'm going to use up a good 3/4 of my points on one meal, and then I'm going to be fucking hungry later.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I only had one meal. But do I think that Amber and Chantal could have jobs, like regular jobs?
No.
That paid as well as what they do for a living right now?
I don't think Amber could ever hold a regular job, and I don't think Chantal, like, for two different... Amber, I don't think could handle the work. Chantal, I don't think could handle, like, not being the center of attention.
Yeah.
I think that in her own little world, she's the center of attention. She likes it that way. Good or bad attention. And I think in a workplace, the way she acts and behaves, she would be fired real quick. You can't act like you're, like, the number one... Like, if you have a YouTube channel, then yeah, your career is pretty much all you all the time. But a normal job, you are usually, like, a nothing in, like, the scope of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see her, like, handling that.
You have to be at places on time. You have to work the scheduled working hours. You can't just dip out.
She started this as a beauty channel where she's never looked good. So, like, already...
Well, that's not fair. That's not fair. That beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah,
just because we don't see her as beautiful, it's because we are like Shallow Hal. We see her for the ugly that she has inside of her.
No, I mean, she's objectively not great looking.
Well,
I'm not talking about her weight.
That's objective.
I'm not talking about her weight, though. I'm talking about
you're talking about her physical appearance, but that's objective. Like, what you see as unattractive, others may see as attractive, just like what you see in me. I don't feel myself attractive, but you do. That's objective. So yes. we're not We are not look shaming. We are, however, shaming the fact that these people are profiting off of their eating disorders.
Yeah.
That should be a no-no. It should be against terms of service. We wouldn't want to watch somebody dealing with anorexia streaming for days on end, not showing that they weren't eating anything and just wasting away. We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't watch somebody, shooting up on live stream or on camera and profit off of that. Like, we wouldn't be giving them money to continue to kill themselves. And Amber equated it to like, we can watch people drink online, we can watch people smoke online. Yes, but we're not paying for them to do that online.
I mean,
like,
some are,
that's
but
not
it's
their
also
content.
not looked highly on.
I want to see where we are paying alcoholics to drink online.
I mean, I've seen like streams and stuff, but it's not positive stuff. It's not like, go for it, dude. It's always like a negative thing. And
it's probably like a degradation kink at that point.
It's not a kink. It's just the same thing with Amber. Like, people like watching her have a downfall, and it's like people use it. They like watching other people have a downfall.
I just don't think that should be something promoted and
No, I agree.
something that YouTube of all places should let continue. But YouTube is also known for letting like child molesters and child groomers continue on the platform. So it really isn't a good baseline for anything. And we'll leave that at that because there's a lot of them out there. But yeah, I really hope these two get their shit together. I am by no means like a hater in the sense that they like to call everybody and group us all in, but I would deem me as a concerned citizen, a concerned fellow fatty. Like, y'all are getting older, not much wiser, but older, and you need to get your shit together. That's it. You need to get your shit together. In a perfect world, they would have people that actually cared about them, putting their foot down and saying,
To be fair, most people who care about them have been like, what's the word I'm looking for? Essentially, like,
beaten down to where they...
No, just kind of like, not beaten down, but, they've given up, I guess. They've,
She hit a new record then, because I think Jade has been the shortest relationship that she's had, where, like, Amber always has this unique, well, not even unique cycle. She has this cycle. When she starts dating somebody or starts talking to somebody fresh in the dating pool, she'll get all dolled up. She worries about her weight loss. She's usually more in tune with losing weight and stuff, and we actually see some progress. But as soon as she gets comfortable in the relationship, all bets are off. We get smuggling.
Smuggling?
I mean like smug
Amberlynn.
Lynn, not like smuggling.
She starts smuggling things.
Smuggling things. But we kind of get like a smug era where she thinks she's in a better relationship than anybody else, and that this person knows her better than any of her prior relationships and is better for her than any of her prior... Like, she makes it a point to put the prior relationship down, no matter who was to blame for the breakup. And usually it's Amber that is the subject matter of the breakup, and her personality and how she treats people. So she does have a pattern. She has a pattern with her weight loss when it comes to even with her partners. It seems like as soon as she's comfortable, weight loss stops. She starts just eating however they eat. And usually in the past, it's been people that have also been heavier. So it's been a lot of takeout and, overeating and stuff.
Yeah.
And we started kind of seeing that ebb back in when Jade stopped cooking for her as often and she stopped cooking for Jade as often, and they just kind of started going full throttle takeout food all the time.
Yeah.
And I think what may have been the camel that her the strand that broke the camel's back, the hair that broke the
The
camel's back,
straw.
the straw.
What did
The-
you say the first time?
The,
The hair that broke its back?
I think it was
That's
the
a very
hair.
weak camel.
Yeah. But whatever broke the camel's back.
Something broke that damn camel's back. We're going to
Something-
find out what.
Something broke the goddamn camel's back. But whatever did was probably the fact that Amber just gave up on herself and didn't go forward with the weight loss surgery and had no backup plan on how to continue on with her weight loss. And I think that's probably what did the relationship in. If they wanted a future together, like she had said, if that was at all truthful, Jade probably saw this as, how am I going to create a life with somebody that can't even fight for their own life, who can't even show willpower to get their own life in order? How am I going to share a life with this person? And they were like talking about children and shit together, like real lesbian shit, if you ask me, like some real lesbian shit. And I'm pro gay, people. I'm half lesbian myself. But I'm just like, I can kind of sympathize with that from Jade's perspective, and I can kind of be
Jade
like,
wanted
she didn't sign up for this. She signed up for Amberlynn being very eager to lose weight, and Amber was losing weight in the beginning, and then when she kind of fell off, Jade was probably like, we need to do something about this. And then once Amber quit, Jade was out. So I think this is something that Amber probably needs to look for in the future, either a partner that is for the craziness and the bipolar mood swings of going from wanting to lose weight to just wanting to be fat and eat what they want on camera because it pays the bills, or take her health seriously and make moves to do better. It's just one thing that Amber and Chantal are both missing in their life, are people to hold them accountable and be like, you know what, you guys need to get your shit done. You need to just do it and stop being little bitch babies about it.
Ooh.
And sometimes when you get older, you just have to do stuff you don't want to do. And this is one of those things. You don't even have to not do it. You don't have to be 100% with it, but you have to meet it at least 90%. And you guys are not even doing that. So get it together, girls. That's all I'm going to say on that. Get it together. This has been a clusterfuck of an episode.
You were literally about to end and then you started calling
I know.
bitch
I
babies.
started going on a tangent, and it's just because I feel so strongly about this. I don't know. I think just being older and having been through this myself to some extent, I feel like I just want you guys need to get together. You guys need, come on, girls. Something's got to give at some point. You can't continue like this. Oh, but yeah, I think that's going to end it for this episode. I'm sorry this has been a bipolar of an episode, and I'm sorry for that. And Liam's barely spoke on this. And I love him for that.
I'm kind of letting you go. I try not to interrupt because I feel like I'm really bad at that.
But I feel like he should promo my tarot cards because he's a good, loving husband.
Definitely get her tarot cards. Check it out on her Twitter. Check it out on her Redbubble. She's got the links and everything. And yeah, the more you guys like it, the more she's gonna do. There's endless amounts that she can do. So it's just really up to.
And it's all
interest.
Ooh.
Want me to do that again?
No.
I mean the promo, not the verb.
But for those that don't know, because I do post on the podcasting apps as well outside of YouTube, so a lot of
and by
people
Twitter, I'm sorry, I mean X now.
Oh yes, the X. I post on the X. The X usually gets my illustrations first, and then if I remember to, I post to the community tab here on YouTube. I really have no way of sharing it on the actual podcasting apps. Instead, I'm just going to share the information down in the information bar. So you guys will see it down there. I'll have it linked. But I will also, outside of the tarot card deck that I'm making, individual pieces will be going to kind of building merchandise like t-shirts, tote bags, art prints, stickers, mugs, pillows, stuff like that.
Yeah, anything that you could possibly want.
Yeah. And I'm trying to keep with stuff that's reasonably priced. I know the t-shirts are like roughly $20, which isn't bad for a t-shirt.
No.
And I feel like they're pretty good quality. I've worked with this company before printing stuff off for family members. So at least I know the quality's there. But yeah, everything will be available on Redbubble. And then when the cards are done, I will be selling them from probably Instagram, I think. If not, I will start a shop or something to be able to sell them. But I'm starting out with 25 decks and going from there because it is pricey to print, unfortunately. And the print amount is 25 decks, and I feel like that's a reasonable amount. So
yeah, check them out.
Check them out.
If it's not a reasonable amount, then too bad, because that's what everyone makes her charge. So nothing to see really about.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop things from there. People stop me from talking. Please. Just pay for my
buy her shit.
Buy my
or at least listen to the podcast and share.
Yes. If
you're not going to buy her shit, then what are you doing?
Yeah, wear it. Oh my God, if anybody buys my merch though, please send me photos of you in it. That would be amazing.
Yes.
Anyhow, we're going to end it. I'm sorry. I am very sorry.
All right, shut up.
I will
I'm ready to
talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye.